All right, so I'm sitting in a men's group the other week. This is a couple weeks ago. I'm sitting in a men's group, Christian, environment, bunch of Christian men at a round table. And the question is basically this: what are some of the things, or what is the main thing that can destroy men? And everyone's given their answers, and they're valid answers. But when it came to me, I said women. I know that sounds bad, but it's true. And here, let me explain. Okay. So for almost 30 years now, 27 years to be exact, from age 16, okay, I'll be 43 this month in June. So, and I've been seeing this since age 16. Let me just say this. There's two things that are the leading cause of men committing suicide and men being homeless. And what are those two things? War and divorce. Think about how crazy that is. Dude, just pause for a second and think about how crazy that is. War and divorce. And when I say divorce, it's government contract marriage divorce. They're being ground up and spit out like trash. Because that's what the government views you as in their system. Trash. I know, that's harsh, but that's true. That's why I say, don't get a government marriage contract. They do not care about you at all. In fact, they're annoyed by you. They're bothered by you. They actually have contempt and hatred towards you. In that divorce court proceeding, you as the man, you're like a leper. You're like a leper to them, to that judge and to those lawyers. You're a leper, bro. And I get it. You were sold a fairy tale and a fantasy as a child that, there's just this one person for you out of 8 billion. No, that's just for you. No. There's a handful, even a little more than that. There's a good selection out there that are compatible with you. There's not just one. I know it sounds great. It's romantic. It's all those things, right? A soulmate. I get it. But there's a collection of them. Now some you will vibe with better than others, and you will get along with better than others. But I mean, I've already counted 2 in my life. 2 that I would say, oh yeah, for sure. There's 2. But there's realistically, to play it, I guess, hypothetically, and I've had this conversation very deeply with I'd say there's 5 to 10, minimum, 5 to 10 minimum out there. But guys, listen. Just focus on what God has put you on this earth for. Focus on your purpose. Focus on all those things. And if and or when a potential suitor comes along, what I would suggest to do is be patient and extreme vetting process. Take your time. And I always ask the question, am I dealing with you or your representative? Because they're going to try to sell you on a version of themselves. But I'm like, wait, hold on. Is this really you, or is this your representative? Okay? Because remember, there's 24 hours in a day. I don't care how good her sex is. I don't care. I really don't care. It's a good thing, It's an important thing. But remember, there's 24 hours in a day. So let me just get really extra real with you men right here. And I've had these conversations with men in person. They know who they are. I've had these conversations with them. When a man comes to me, okay, and he's thinking about getting married, I'm saying, okay, my bro, because I love you. I'm your friend. I'm your brother in Christ. Even if you're not a Christian, I'm still your fellow man. Okay, let's really truly break this down. Okay, here it goes. There's 24 hours in a day. Number one, statistically speaking, you're not going to get it every day. That's very, very rare. Very rare. I'd say 1% or less. That's how rare it is. But let me give you the benefit of the doubt. Let me give you all the benefits. Okay, so let's just say, Mr. Man, you want to get married? Okay, cool. Let's say hypothetically you get it every day, which is not going to happen. But let's just say you do get it every day. Okay. How much time is that? I'm going to give you a 15-minute to 1 hour window. 15 minutes to 1 hour. Somewhere in there. Okay. What happens when that time frame is over? Is she nice? Is she kind? Is she loving, supportive, peaceful? You see what I'm saying? There's 24 hours in a day, bro. What are you going to do? I mean, you're living with this person. Like, think about how crazy this is. You're living with one person for the rest of your life. It's pretty crazy to think about. I hope she's peaceful. I hope she's supportive and kind and loving and calm and, like, do you really like being around this person 24/7 for the rest of your life? Like, think about it. Think up here now. Come on. Think up here. Don't think down there below your belt. I don't care what your man below your belt is saying. I don't care. Because again, I'm giving you 15 minutes to 1 hour. And even with some of y'all, that's being generous. That's being generous. But I'm just saying, 15 minutes to 1 hour. But there's 24 hours in a day. So what are you going to do the rest of the day? How is she going to be like to you the rest of the day and for the rest of your life? Think about how crazy this is, bro. But see, most men, they're not thinking up here. They're thinking down there. And that's the problem. You're thinking down there. That's the problem. So in this study, again, 13% reported of still being in love after 8.5 years. Only 3% reported in a state of marital bliss after 8.5 years. And you're different? You're different, huh? Okay. She's different. She's different, bro. You don't understand. She's different, bro. Okay. Maybe. I mean, I definitely had different. I come from a 1% or less than 1% experience. To all you people out there that think I'm not bitter or angry. No, I come from a really, really good experience for 10 years in marriage. Like, almost unheard of, really. So, no, I come from the most positive place in marriage. I would get married again. Absolutely. But I would have to actually be motivated to do it. You see what I'm saying? Like, some woman, you're going to have to kind of convince me, basically. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to convince me with some super sexual, show or power. No. Because even if it was the best in the world, there's 24 hours in a day, chica. And that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at 24 hours for the rest of my life. I'm not looking at 15 minutes to an hour.